offer you a presentation on a set of instructions about how to use PowerPoint to build a video for your Blackboard classroom. Now, what you'll see in this video are tools that I've been using to create segments to put into the classroom involving introductions and instructions. And I kind of threw in a whole lot of different little features that you can use just to demonstrate what's possible. So as you go through this, you'll see things you say, well, this doesn't really have anything to do with what he's talking about. Well, it does, because it shows you what you can do if you're willing to put in a little time and effort and learning about how to do these particular techniques. All right, so sit back, enjoy, and hopefully this provides a little bit of incentive and also some good instructional value. It's longer. If you know how to do this, it's long. But if you don't know how to do it, it's probably too short, and there are things that you'll need to ask questions about. But I tried to compromise on coming up with a particular length that would be watchable and still valuable. Good luck with it. There are a number of ways that you can put video into your Blackboard classes. This particular demonstration or set of instructions I'll be showing you here is how you can create a video from a PowerPoint presentation that can then be inserted or embedded into your Blackboard class wherever you want. And I'll be fairly specific going through the instructions about how to do this. But the warning and disclaimer over to the left there is simply indicating that I realize there are other ways of doing this besides what I'm showing you. However, I found this method to be particularly effective, putting together a very professional looking presentation with a great deal of flexibility. So if you're going to do it a different way, that's fine, but this one deals with PowerPoint. So it involves basically 6 different steps that you're going to go through, and each one of these is necessary. Of course, you got to, because we're going to be working in PowerPoint, you're going to be creating PowerPoint slides, and you're going to need to be working with a version of PowerPoint that's 2010 or newer. Older versions of PowerPoint will allow you to create the presentation, but you won't be able to convert it into a video format to run into YouTube. So you need access to a 2010 or 2013 version of PowerPoint. I'll be showing you everything in a 2013 version, so if you've got a 2010, it may look slightly different. So the first step is to create the slides. Second step is to embed any video or sounds or music or animations, basically enhance your presentation with anything that you want to have in it. Then you're going to narrate the slides, which will give you a voiceover, which is what I'm doing now. You're going to then tell PowerPoint to convert your PowerPoint presentation into a video file. Once PowerPoint has done that, you'll upload the video file to YouTube or some other video service. And finally, you'll take the YouTube link and insert that into your Blackboard class where it's appropriate. Now I'm going to walk through each one of these steps in more detail, showing you step by step how you do all this, because I realize when you look at this at first it seems like this would be very, very confusing. Well, that's the purpose of this video, is to show you how to do it. First step is, again, to create your PowerPoint slides. I've just got a blank one here, as if I was starting to create a presentation. I would put in my title and any information, then I would create my slides. Now this, you could start out with a pre-existing PowerPoint presentation, either something that came from your along with your textbook or something that you've created or used before. You don't have to make a new one. This can be done over an old one or a modified PowerPoint presentation. So whatever you're going to work with, you need the presentation to start with. One of the things that's nice in PowerPoint 2013 is the ability to take screenshots and directly bring them into your slides. So for example, if you have a Word document open and an Excel spreadsheet open and a browser open, you can click on this Insert Screenshots, and it will give you an option to choose from any of those, and it will bring it directly onto your slide. You don't have to go searching around through folders and so on to be able to take a screenshot and copy it onto Word and then bring it into the presentation. You can do this directly, and this makes it very fast. Normally what I do is I have in my browser, I'll have my class going in my browser, and then as I work through my class, I'll simply take screenshots from the browser and embed them then into the PowerPoint presentation. So here's an example of some cool stuff you can do. As I said, I had my browser open to my class, and I simply clicked on Insert Screenshot and then chose this one, and it immediately brought it into my slide. You can also add other types of enhancements. You can put in pictures, photographs, you can put in video, you can put in shapes. Basically, this is the point when you want to make your presentation look like it's going to look at the end. So I'm going to show you how to video here in a second, but really you've got a wide range of options of what you can do with your. You can take a video, either one that's online or one that you created. What I do is I use my webcam and make a video that I then insert or embed into the PowerPoint presentation. What I've taken here is one that came with the computer and showing you that all you do is click on Insert Video from my computer and choose the video you want to put into your presentation, and it will actually insert it in the presentation.
Don't forget his name, or else we're dead. Must outrun cries for clarification.
Okay, you've got your PowerPoint presentation finished. You've added all your animations, your GIFs, your videos, your sound, whatever you're going to put into it. And now you need to review it and make sure that it's complete, that everything is there that you need, that you're happy with it, that it makes sense, that it flows well. Because what you're going to be doing next is starting to add your narration. So you need to start thinking about what you're going to say when this particular slide comes up. So save your work. Make sure this file is saved before you start to narrate, and then you're going to click on Slideshow, Record Slideshow. Now, a word before you start this is you need to have a microphone. If you have a desktop, you're going to need to have an external microphone that plugs into your microphone jack. If you have a laptop, it generally will have a built-in microphone that you can use. It's a good idea before you start narrating your PowerPoint to test your microphone and the record levels. There's an accessory. If you go to computer programs and accessories, there should be a sound recorder there that you can test at what level your microphone is recording and that it's in fact working. You can record your narration for the entire presentation from beginning to end, and that's what I'm doing in this one here. When I get in a kind of a flow, I just like to get it done. However, the way PowerPoint works when it's recording the narration is it does it slide by slide. So when I'm on this slide, whatever I say when this slide is on the screen, that will be what goes along with this slide, which is great because if you make a mistake or you get embarrassed or whatever, you're unhappy with what you're saying or you make a mistake, you can just go back to that individual slide and do it over again. If you want to get out of the narration, simply push your escape key. That takes you out of slideshow mode, and then you can go back in on the particular slide you want to change, start up the narration, slideshow narration again on that slide, and it'll just redo it for you. Once you've finished and you're happy with your narration, you want to review it and make sure that it sounds good and that it all kind of goes together. Again, the next step is going to be kind of going to the finished product, so you want to make sure before we start that you're very happy with what you've got. You also want to look at the length of the narration. YouTube tends to cut things off at about 20 minutes, so if your presentation is approaching 20 minutes or over, you might want to cut it down or convert it into 2 separate presentations. To get started with the conversion process, you're going to want to push the File button up at the top. That will bring you to the next screen. From this screen, we go to the Export button. Clicking on the Export brings you to this. We're going to be creating a video. And then we're going to be clicking on Create Video. You do not have to worry about any of the other stuff. I've found that it works just fine and you don't have to think about that. If you want to do more and learn more about it, that's fine, but I've never had a problem just at this stage clicking on the Create Video. There will be another dialog box where you'll be asked where you want to save your video once it's created, and also what format you want to use. You have a choice between MPEG-4 or WMV. In my experience, you can use either one. What the default is MPEG-4. That seems to work fine. You can upload that to YouTube, so I don't see any reason to use one versus the other. If you have a preference, go ahead and use it, but they both seem to work the same. When you save it into a folder where you can find it again, because you're going to need to get to it to upload to YouTube. Depending on the size of the file you're working with, depending on how fast your computer is, the conversion from PowerPoint into a video file may take 2, 3, 5, 10, up to 15 minutes, depending on the size of it and the complexity of it. You do not need to stay near your computer. You don't need to do anything. It'll just keep running until it's finished, and then it'll automatically save the file. Once the file is saved, is completed and saved, you are ready to upload to YouTube. Now, if you've never done this before, I'd suggest that you look at a couple of instructional videos talking about uploading to YouTube. But basically, you click on YouTube. There's a portion there where it says Upload. Click on Upload, and then it asks you which files you want to upload. One suggestion is, because there are many videos in YouTube, you might want to add some sort of a unique identifier to the title of your video so that when you go searching for it again, you'll be able to find it. Once YouTube has processed your video and stored it, you can then go to your class, and in any section where you've got a text editor, this could be in discussion, this could be in posts, this can be in announcements, this can be in paper reviews. Wherever there's the thing that says mashups, that allows you to be able to embed your YouTube video there. So in this particular instance, I'm just using an example. If I was going to create an announcement to my class, I would then go to the mashups, click on that, it drops down a menu. I would then click on YouTube videos. It would then ask me which video I want. I would type in the search box my unique identifier for my video. So most of my videos I use the class name, for example, MAN 583, and that generally cuts down the search to a few hundred rather than millions of videos to look for. So you want to click in the right thing there, and then you can use all the words or several words, and then click, and hopefully it will find your video. Sometimes it takes a little while. YouTube may be processing a lot of videos and getting them organized, and sometimes you'll come back and plan to put yours into your class and it's not there yet. So wait 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes, maybe come back a couple hours later. Generally, it'll be available for you then. When you do find it, you simply click on Select, and it inserts the thumbnail for your YouTube video, which is essentially the link, in your class at the point you had your cursor when you went to mashups. So it puts it exactly where you want it, and it gives you the title that you supplied to your YouTube video. So for example, when I saved my video to YouTube, I changed the name to MAN 583 Introduction and Overview. So that has done it. You've completed your video. It's in your classroom. Now you want to, of course, check it out. So you can click on it. You have to submit, of course, but then you can click on it and see what happens. And if it looks right, then you are complete and ready to move on. In creating, I don't know, a dozen or so of these videos, I've gotten faster and gotten smarter about doing it. But when you're learning, as with any new procedure, it's a little bit frustrating and confusing, and many times you wonder if it's worth it. You could work hours to get a good 5-minute video. However, the advantage is that you can then reuse this video. If you're teaching the same course again, the file that you've created, that you've uploaded into YouTube, is your file. and you can simply use that same link again, that same thumbnail, and put it in class after class after class. And also, since the PowerPoint that you use to create your video is again narrated slide by slide, you may be able to use this same presentation in several different classes simply by changing one or two of the slides. Okay, so whenever I do it, I think doing a generic class and then replacing a couple of the slides to make it fit a different class. The more you play with PowerPoint, the newer versions, the more flexibility you see, the different tools that are available. It's quite an amazing presentation vehicle, and you can add quite a bit to your presentations by learning how to use some of the tools that are available. And as I said, if you teach the same class, you can reuse your videos over and over again. Well, to wrap it up, it's up to you now. I'm available for questions, but practice makes perfect, so I hope you're willing to give it a shot. Good luck.